Hey, how you doing? My name's Lancer. This is my shop. Now, normally I'd do shop-related videos, but because Halloween's coming up, I wanted to do something just a little bit different. So when I got a phone call to come visit a guy by the name of Dean Jones at Jonesio Art Works, I jumped at the chance. COVID's kind of settling down now. We're allowed to travel. So I packed up the car, we jumped on a ferry, and an hour later, we're pulling into the Sunshine Coast. It was only about a 20-minute drive once we got off the ferry. Signs led us right there, of course. Seems we had to make a turn, but once we did, we found Davis Bay. This is his driveway? So I just walked up the path, and eventually I did come to the house, where I was met by what I would describe as a zombie butler, who took us up and led us into the house. And this is where we met the man, the myth, the legend that is Dean Jones. So this is my sit down with Dean. I hope you like it. Hey, how you doing? Welcome. I'm sitting here with Dean Jones, owner of Jonesio Art Works, here at beautiful downtown Davis Bay on the beautiful Sunshine Coast. Thanks for having us, Dean.
Well, thanks for coming by, Lancer. We appreciate it.
Tell me about these masks that we're sitting around.
What we're looking at here are all sculpted by myself and cast in latex rubber. Some of them are wearable. Some of them are foam-filled display copies. There's a lot of collectors out there in the world. In fact, I've sent some as far as Tasmania, believe it or not.
Really?
And Scotland.
Who would you say is your biggest influences?
My biggest influence, I would have to say, would be Rick Baker. As you can see, the werewolf that I have here. When I saw American Werewolf in London, it just blew my mind. But I mean, the Universal monsters have always been a favorite of mine. Frankenstein, Dracula, the Wolfman, the Mummy, going way back to when I was a kid.
Don Post? Come on, the Godfather of Halloween has to be an influence.
Absolutely, right out of the gate when I went to Disneyland at the age of 10 with my parents. And I saw some of the Don Post masks in certain parts of Disneyland. Blew my mind. And after that, I searched out their catalog, and they had some of the best mask sculptors in the world. At that time, they were so close to the real thing that you'd see in the movies, the movie monsters. I just coveted them. And
so you sell these masks, do you?
Yes, I do. I sell them. Sometimes I do custom designs. They tend to be a little more pricey, so it's not in everybody's price range. But I produce. I'll do about maybe one new design every. I try to get a new design in every 3 months or so, and then in the meantime, I'm part of a couple of mask sites on Facebook, and again, I'll sell them to.
So if somebody wanted to buy these masks, they could get a hold of you through Facebook?
Facebook right now, at the moment, is the easiest place for somebody to get in touch with me.
What's the name of the Facebook page?
It's Jonesio Art Works.
Dwell casting or slip casting?
Dwell casting for me, because slip casting, these molds sometimes can get 50, 60 pounds. And not really interested in rotating 50, 60 pound block of solid stone. Yeah, so I'll fill them up. Yeah, dwell casting, as you may or may not know, but you might not know that dwell casting is where you just fill the entire mold up, let it sit for about 20 minutes, 30 minutes. It's a preference thing. I'll go 20 minutes. And then I'll pour it all out, let it drain, and then let it dry before I fill it again. Usually the latex I'm using now, I can get away with 2 dwells, and then I've got a full ready to go latex mask in about 6 hours. I think I can pull it out of the mold. Yeah.
Right on. This little blue guy, now he's another one of my favorites. What's the deal with him?
This guy's been sitting around for a number of years, and when I got into doing masks, I was learning mold making techniques, and so I saw that little fellow, I thought, hey, why don't I mold him up and see what happens? So I did that. I just took that old sculpt, and I molded, made a mold out of silicone rubber with a mother mold to help that silicone rubber maintain its shape.
Yeah.
And I was able to rotocast resin, 2-part resin that I mix up, and now I can produce copies.
Nice. So these are for sale as well?
Absolutely they are, yes, you betcha.
Those are great.
They go just great in the garden or wherever. Somebody's desk, perhaps.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a great character. I love them. And these masks here, can you tell me about these?
Half masks, way easier on somebody's budget.
Yeah.
Form-fitting, mouth moves, quite easy to see out of. Some of them I have cut the eyes out so that people can wear makeup and be able to see even easier, but yeah.
Right. The fly character, it looks like he's got a scrotum hanging from the front of his forehead. Is that an actual fly part? Or
it's an actual fly. What it is I took, I believe it was my favorite fly movie, I think was 1950, I guess, Return of the Fly with Vincent Price. And I wanted to reproduce that mask. However, when I started sculpting it, the fly head was probably twice that size, and the mold would have been an absolute beast. So I reduced it a little bit, but I tried to stay as true to form, reproducing it for collectors out there. And a lot of it is exactly like that particular mask. However, some of the stuff I didn't like, so I brought in a few elements of an actual real fly, which are shown right in these 2 testicles.
Is this an actual wearable mask?
100%, you bet. It's a bit tricky to see out of, but there's this mesh that I put in here, and there's eye holes right here and here, and breathing holes right here and here, hidden, camouflaged by this mesh.
Right. Tell me about this little guy here. This is just the creepiest little guy.
This little fella here is a reproduction of Slappy from the Goosebumps series, R.L. Stein. My kids, they got lucky because every Halloween, whatever the hell they want, I try to give them. So
somebody wanted to be Slappy.
My daughter wanted to be Slappy for Halloween, and lucky her. And I just love it. Halloween's my favorite time of year. I don't know if it's because I was born the day before, but
Can you tell me about this little guy with the wings?
the little guy with the wings. You know, big fan of gargoyles. And I built a retaining wall in front of my house some 14 years ago. And I had always thought, wouldn't it be super cool if I could have gargoyles sitting on top of each one of the columns of my retaining wall? So I fast forward 14 years later, and he is a prototype, and right now I am currently sculpting the full-size version of him.
Okay, Dean, everything in this studio is horror related, with the exception of this little shelf. This happy little shelf. Tell me about this shelf.
Everything on there is a little piece of who I am or what I've experienced in my lifetime. From the dashboard Jesus to Charlie Brown, all the little horror creatures upstairs. Big Disney fan, you know. I know, sue me.
That's awesome. You know, this place is really great, Dean.
Yeah, it's my happy place, my home away from home in my home. Yeah. And if you come this way, this is where all the magic happens. I was running out of space in here. My wife suggested that why don't you renovate under the stairs and build your studio under there. Genius idea. Come with me. So I punched in a bunch of windows. I got a beautiful little space. And when I built the place, I was able to modify it the way I wanted to. I've got a built-in spray booth right here for where I can do all my painting of my masks and all my figures and statues and whatnot. And then in a moment, I can all of a sudden open it up and I'm back to sculpting or mold making or what have you. And right here is where I can do all my painting all my airbrushes are here, all my acrylic paints are here, all my latex paints are here, my mask, my gloves, my adhesives, all my resins are down here, my latex is here, all of my mold making materials are here. I've got a box of clay right here. As you can see, brushes, everything I need is right here.
At your fingertips.
At my fingertips. I don't even have to move, and I can make you a full mask from start to finish without getting out of my chair.
This is a great use of space.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, Dean. Well, thanks for letting us come and tear your house apart and do this for you. It's been a lot of fun, and good luck in the future.
Absolutely. Thank you very kindly.
You're very
It's been
welcome.
great having you.
All right. We'll see you guys next time.